Hi, my name is Anna, and welcome to the weekly message. The message this week is about suffering. So, I want to just talk to you about what happened when I had my awakening. I had gone through a number of things in my life that were very difficult at best. Um, I talked about those in some earlier videos if you'd like to go back and, take a look toward the beginning. But they were difficult things in my life nonetheless. And the final straw that broke the camel's back was probably one of the most painful things I've ever gone through. And it was 7 years after having lost the person that I was in love with who died from suicide. I chose to open my heart to someone else. It was 7 years later. And that person essentially used me. That's what they did. And after having what I thought was a very comfortable 3-month relationship, just letting my guard down and feeling like finally, I was getting on my feet. I was very much in love with this man, and the rug got pulled out from underneath me. And I want to tell you that it was one of the most horrible, excruciating experiences of my life. But what happened to me is that I cried for a few days, and then I found myself very grief-stricken, very, very heavily grief-stricken. And during that time, I cried a lot. And I would wake up in the middle of the night thinking about him, thinking about a specific song that reminded me of him. And it was going on and on and on in my head. And I felt like I was going crazy, really. And I really was at the bottom of where I thought I could go. And I just started praying. But interestingly enough, even though I was suffering, I was not praying for me. I was praying for him, because I really understood what had happened. I can't really explain how I understood. I just did. And I understood that many things were coming back to him from childhood, the way that he had been loved from stories that he had told me. And he really had never been properly loved, ever. And so when he met up with me, and I really had found unconditional love after having lost, my previous person to suicide. It was just something that he couldn't deal with, this man. And what ended up happening is it turned into, an argument that ended with me being upset and feeling like I did something wrong when I really did not. The things that he told me made it perfectly clear to me, the things that had happened to him. But what did happen from there is that I found a spiritual awakening. And it was because I had nothing left except for God. I literally was curled up on the bed in the fetal position crying. There's literally nothing left for me. I felt. And still, I prayed for someone other than myself. And I woke up the next morning. I can't explain it. I've tried so hard to explain it to people. But it's really something that made me different. I woke up and I was still sad. I'm not going to lie. I was still sad. I do still, to this day, miss him. I'm not going to lie. But what happened is God made me realize that I had a gift. He gave me the realization that I had a spiritual gift that I could share. And that's why you're seeing me today, because I know that I've suffered a lot in my life, a lot. But in the very end, I still relied on God. At my worst, I still relied on God. I still called out to my Savior for help. So even though this message is a little long, what I want to tell you is it doesn't matter what you've gone through. It does not matter. Awakenings happen because of small events. They happen because of large events. You get triggered and it happens. But if you feel the spirit inside of you the way that I do, in this tremendous way, and you know in your heart that the way to peace, the way to goodness, the way to ultimate joyful life is through love, then you're in the right place. So thank you for listening this week. I hope to see you next week, and I wish you the best week ahead. Bye now.